So now, how did we get cold calling to work in our favor? Someone left me a comment earlier on telling me, do you know what, a cold calling does not work. I mean, how do you just pick up a phone call and call someone random and just tell them about what you do and they give you money at the end of that day? In this video, I'm just going to share what exactly we did to get the results that we got this year. Truth be told, cold calling is only for people like startups like us. We did not have the money to run adverts, meaning either we did inbound, which inbound took long, or we did cold calling. We had two alternatives, meaning right from the inception, we are very disadvantaged. If we didn't do this, there was no way we are going to survive. Now, for our cold calling efforts to work, this is all we did. The first thing we did is, number one, we needed to understand what the mathematics are. Cold calling is, like you said, it's cold. You're reaching out to someone for the first time, so they don't know anything about you. Meaning, the only thing for it to work is you need to up the quantity. We picked a leaf from what the Nigerian scammers do. They send out millions of emails every day, and because they're sending out millions, even if 1% or 0.5% convert, it ends up being a lot more valuable. But since for us, we're doing a very quality product, what we decided to do is, instead of calling 10 people a day, each of the 3 sales reps that we have decided, let's be calling 50 people a day. That way, it's 50 for me, 50 for the second, 50 for the third guy, which number we're actually pushing up this year to about 100. And just because of that sheer volume, it meant that from the 150 calls that we make up a day, even if we got 10 people of 15 people that responded and gave us meetings, that alone would give us the quantity that we need to achieve the goals that we had to make at the end of the day. So the first thing we did is we made sure the volume is extremely high. The second thing we did is we made sure that everyone is in sync, because cold calls are not easy. So we had to have a lot of practice done, a lot of practice done of how do you manage different case scenarios. You're going to have case scenarios where people are busy and said, you know what, where did you get my number? Are you a scam? So how do you manage that? And simply by us positioning ourselves where everyone has an understanding of how these calls could possibly go. Meaning, if it's a good call, how do you manage it? If it's a mediocre call, how do you go about bringing it? If it's a bad call, what do you do about it? People now started experiencing this. It's like you've already prepared your mind for the battles that you could possibly face. And because you're a bit more prepared, it doesn't hit you as badly as a situation where something you're talking to someone for the first time and they've abused you. So we got comfortable with that rejection and did it over and over to ourselves. Now, by the time we got to the actual thing, it's like how a boxer goes onto the field and they've practiced well enough. Yes, they could hit you here and the other side, but you're already comfortable. You know what to do in some scenarios, so you're much more prepared. Then number 3, which is the most important, we understood that a cold call is just your first engagement. It doesn't mean that if you've called me today, I'm going to buy from you today. No. You will know that you're going to probably take another 2 weeks to a month. So what do we do between them? That's where now we deploy what we call marketing automation, whereby immediately after the phone call, if the call has gone well, let's send the person more information to their WhatsApp, to their email, to their phone number, to wait another week or so, follow up. The thing is, now the automation software, which is Monkey Pesa that we use, by the way, you can use it for all this automation. Let it now begin sending information, following up on your behalf, following up again, reminding you who is the salesperson that made that phone call in the first place to also check on that person again. Because like I said, your first cold call is just the initial engagement. In order to increase the percentage of success, you need to follow up, check in again. And that alone, we noticed, is where most of our sales come from. The first call, you call the person, they are busy, they're in hospital, after that, follow up the third time. And on the fourth time, that's when money comes to you at the end of the day. I'm not saying you get 50% of the people, but for our case specifically, of the cold calls we make, we tend to convert about 9.7%, which is good enough for our case. So if we can do it at a large enough scale, it means at the end of the day, the money comes. So if you don't have money for adverts, and if your inbound efforts haven't been started paying off so far, please do the cold outreach. It really, really, really works. I could guarantee if you started today, by the end of the week, you would see some results standing out. And if you're interested in more content like this, I share a ton of content on sales. Feel free to follow up with me. And if you're looking for a marketing automation tool that would help within your cold outreach efforts, feel free to reach out to me. I'm also going to leave a link right here on to the Monkey Pesa marketing automation software. You can visit that or drop me a DM. I'll guide you on how this can be in position to help you. Bye bye for now.